Okay. Well, fair enough. I mean, the enterprise space always is really difficult to tap into, right? Because you're dealing with huge corporates that are usually really, really slow to adapt and change their somewhat working systems. Let's put it that way. Since you are actually coming from that industry, I'm wondering, like, what does your strategy look like to actually get your solution adopted?
So this is kind of my um, I did large scale deals with Fortune 500 companies for about 25 years in the traditional IT space before coming to Web3. And as Chief Commercial Officer for Cardano, I was spending a lot of time with corporates and enterprise to get use cases to create real world adoption. At the time, we were in the experimentation phase where we were working with the innovation departments, trying out NFTs, trying out digital identity, trying out different things. And so here's my experience with the enterprise. There are a few hurdles we have to pass before enterprise adoption really takes place. Hurdle number one is a paradigm change. In other words, corporates are hierarchical, they're run by shareholders, they're centralized in many ways, and therefore they're really about central accumulation of power and profits. Whereas a decentralized system is the opposite of it. So there's a pragmatic aspect to it. That's top level. Third layer is compliance, which I would argue is probably the bigger hurdle than the cultural thing. Because, if you can't get a compliance system, right? So most of these corporates wanted to do private systems, closed systems. In other words, take a blockchain and make it private. This is all the work the Hyperledger did and all these people, but then not miss the secret sauce of the blockchain, right? The secret sauce is that it's decentralized, that it's global, that, it's permissionless. And so they weren't even allowed because their legal departments wouldn't give them compliance, wouldn't approve it, because there was no market structure in place in the United States, right? There is market structure in Switzerland. Now it's coming in Europe. There were some places where you could do these types of things, but let's be frank, the epicenter of most of the world's capital is the United States. And not only was there no regulatory clarity, there was a hostile SEC and a hostile administration against the industry. So it was a no show for them. It was a no-go. So every corporate has experimentation